I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're stepping into the nostalgic world of rural Midwestern baseball and untold romance with Robert Meyer. He's written an amazing book. It is called Amylou. This novel, loosely inspired by a real-life love interest, weaves together the lives of charming baseball players with a backdrop of Heartland America. The author brings to life a story that's as much about the game as it is about the complexities of love. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his delightful book. The links are below the interview. Robert, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Logan.
There are two games I love, the game of baseball and the game of romance. They both have their hits and misses. They both have their home runs. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration for writing Amylou.
Well, it was more about, I was kind of going through a time where I was disillusioned with my life, maybe my early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of looking for things that kind of keep my spirits, keep my spirits up, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
And I just, I look back at, a better time in my life, maybe my college years. And there was challenges there, but it was just a better time of life. And the kids that I had coached, they remained in my life. They were supportive in my life. They kept in contact with me, and they were very important to me, keeping my spirits up. I just wasn't at a place that I wanted to be at that stage of my life. And the real life Amylou, she was just I think she was 19 when I met her, and she was going through her own serious challenges, but and she really helped me. She really helped me back then, and I kind of leaned on that to keep me going in life, keep the bad stuff at bay, I guess.
Exactly. Keep that feeling of love, keeping that feeling of hope. Even when the spring training starts, it feels like it's hopeful. It's the boys of summer back on the field. It feels like a new season's coming, the sun is coming, and your book has that feeling of hope for sure. Let's give the folks at home an overview. Tell us a little bit about what Amylou is about. Tell us a story.
Oh, it's basically about a man getting a second chance to kind of reconnect with the past, getting a second chance at coaching baseball. Now these the kids that I coached in my book, and the fictional book, of course, but now they're high school. Now I get a chance to coach them in high school, whereas before I coached them when they were in grade school. And at the same time, Amy happens to move to my town. It's just a chance deal, a chance interview, where our degree. She was a social worker by trade in real life, and I just happened to have an interview, and she happened to be the interviewee, and I didn't even know that she was, had moved to my town, and it kind of took off from there. That's kind of it's kind of a second chance theme.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
See if I could have some redemption, and both those, with both dynamics, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Have you envisioned this as a movie? I don't think since Field of Dreams there's been a great baseball movie. We could use a great baseball movie that has a great love story involved as well.
Well, I've been pretty humbled by the process. It's just, it's nice to think about. I'm sure I've envisioned that, but I'm also, I've been humbled enough to know that, these things don't happen. It takes a lot of fortune, a lot of luck,
a lot of good luck. But the word is out there now. The story is out there, so you never know who's going to read it and who's going to say, "Hey, this would be a terrific film." So hopefully you win. It is a lottery, basically. Whenever you produce something creative, sometimes it takes off, sometimes it doesn't. But it would be wonderful if it wound up in the right hands and did become a movie or a series or something like that. Now, the story is set in the Midwest. That's an area you know well. Tell us a little bit about why you set the story in the Midwest.
Well, that's I guess what they say is, as an author, write what you know.
Hmm.
Um, I'm a Midwestern boy, um, and of course, this is based on haphazardly, of course. I mean, fictionally, but it's based on real life experience of coaching baseball in the rural Midwest, and
Yeah,
which has its own inherent uh, dynamic.
yeah,
Different than than an urban setting. Um, and this is what I know. This
yeah.
setting is what I know.
And baseball
Essentially.
is more important to people in the Midwest. People turn out for a game on the weekend or
Sure,
whenever it might be. I mean, even in the South, people, spring training's a big deal. So,
sure,
it's more part of the culture. Like you said, there's other distractions in the big city. I think it might be more
sure,
basketball or something like that. But
sure.
baseball is really where you find that field of dreams, and Iowa and the surrounding states is where you find a lot of baseball. Baseball is a big part of the story, of course. Tell us a little bit about how you think the sport adds to the story's emotional depth.
Well, I think baseball is inherently can be inherently heartbreaking,
Hmm.
humbling. Um, Even the greatest players get a hit 30% of the time.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been humbled as a player and as a coach.
Hmm.
Um, can get away from you quite a bit, and but it can also bring a lot of joy. A lot of when I think back, um, just the outburst of emotion that happens when things go right.
Yeah,
Uh, I can remember that, very fondly. Um,
exactly. Did you play baseball in high school?
I did not very well, I'm
Yeah,
afraid, but I played it all the way from third grade on.
yeah.
So it's a big part of my life. And matter of fact, the job my mother got me the job coaching in my hometown. It
Awesome.
was her idea. So
Awesome.
and it turned out I've made lifelong friendships, as a result, and I'm grateful to her for doing that.
Are you still
But
coaching
essentially,
baseball?
I'm sorry,
Are you still
pardon?
coaching baseball?
No,
Yeah.
no, I no longer have. I haven't for it's over 30 years ago,
Hmm.
but some of the relationships that I have with those kids are still ongoing,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Abs-
it's made life a lot more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Growing up, who was your hero? Was it Tom Seaver? Tom Seaver was mine. I don't know about you.
Well, the funny thing about it, you mentioned Tom Seaver. May he rest in peace. I mean,
Yeah.
Tom's gone, but um, what happened was when I first started coaching, I was just winging it and thinking that I knew the game, knew the sport. But by the next year, when they invited me back to coach, I read Tom Seaver's book. I believe it was called The Art of Pitching, and I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
And I'd also read his autobiography years ago, and yeah, I'm grateful to little Tom Seaver for
Yeah.
doing it. My favorite was probably George Brett
Hmm.
and Pete Rose.
Pete
Those are
Rose.
kind
Yeah.
of um, those are the I'd say those are the people that I really admired, looked up to, and that played the game the way I
Yeah.
aspired to play.
Absolutely. All fun times, fun years, collecting the baseball cards, maybe
Exactly.
occasionally going to the stadium and catching a game.
Sure.
It
Yep.
was amazing times. I remember going to Shea
Yep.
Stadium with my dad once or twice to watch Tom
You
Seaver
bet.
pitch, and
You
it
bet.
was quite a thrill. What's the message that you hope the readers take away from your book?
Well, my thing was that second chances have their own inherent challenges. That sometimes you got an opportunity to redeem yourself in different ways. It's still work has to be done. and you still have to have fate. You still have to have good luck, good fortune, and that's probably the way the book went. It evolved that way.
Absolutely. Are you still in touch with the real life Amylou?
No,
No.
no, I was in touch with her until she got married, and then
Okay.
respectfully, I backed. I ceased talking to her out of respect for her. But
Gotcha. Well, maybe one day she'll pick up the book, and that would be wonderful as well.
that'd be something.
That'd be something for sure. Well, this is such an amazing book written by Robert Meyer. It is called Amylou. It's a novel inspired by a real life love interest, and it weaves together the lives of charming baseball players and is set in the heartland of the United States of America. It truly is a field of hope, a field of dreams, and a field that offers a bright future. Robert, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Logan.
Pleasure's mine. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.